None of the authors have any financial interest in the products or procedures shown in this video. We hereby present a video on Autologous Ilm plug technique for large macular holes. Large macular holes have been described by International Vitreomacular Traction Study Classification as measuring more than 400 microns. Large macular holes have an increased risk of surgical failure, and up to 44% of large holes remain open after one surgery. Surgical techniques for large macular hole closure. Inverted internal limiting membrane flap technique for large macular holes was described in 2010. Here is a short video demonstrating the inverted flap technique. ILM peeling. This is followed by inverting the ILM flap over the base of the macular hole. And followed by the fluid air exchange. Talking about the disadvantages of this technique, the main disadvantage is displacement of the ILM flap, especially during fluid air exchange. Few other techniques have also been described, like small pedunculated flap at margin flipped toward base of hole, ILM flap with autologous blood, ILM free flap technique with viscoelastic material, and other techniques like autologous neurosensory retinal flap, arcuate retinotomy, radial incisions, and lens capsular flap. Autologous Ilm plug technique. Autologous transplantation of internal limiting membrane for refractory macular holes was described in 2014. Later on, autologous internal limiting membrane fragment transplantation for large, chronic and refractory macular holes was described in 2016. Our technique of autologous Ilm plug consists of 25 gauge pars plana vitrectomy, ILM peeling up to 2 to 3 disc diameters, autologous ILM plug into base of macular hole with help of vitrectomy forceps, passive fluid air exchange with port end facing nasally, and tamponade with 20% SF6. This is a video of our autologous ILM plug technique. Triamcinolone assisted vitrectomy is being done, followed by posterior vitreous detachment induction. Brilliant blue-green dye is then used to stain the ILM, and diamond dusted membrane scraper is used for ILM peeling. This is followed by the use of intravitreal ILM forceps for peeling the ILM. The ILM flap obtained is plugged into the macular hole gently with the help of ILM forceps, as shown in this video. And this is followed by the fluid air exchange. This is another short video demonstrating our fluid air exchange technique, like shown over here with the port end facing nasally. Our experience with this technique: 8 treatment nave eyes with large macular holes were treated with our technique. Mean maximum linear base diameter was 1172 plus minus 322 microns. Mean pre-operative best corrected visual acuity was 1.46 plus minus 0.08 logMAR units. Mean macular hole index was 0.75. Mean hole form factor was 0.40. Type 1 macular hole closure was observed at 1 month follow-up in all cases. And mean post-operative BCVA was 0.84 plus minus 0.3 logMAR units. This is case 1 showing pre-operative and post-operative OCT. Case 2 showing pre-operative and post-operative OCT. Case 3 pre-operative OCT and post-operative OCT. And this is case 4. All of these post-operative OCTs were taken at 1 or 2 weeks post-operatively. Advantages: no risk of displacement of ILM plug flap in comparison to inverted flap technique. Passive fluid air exchange technique is very effective and prevents displacement of ILM plug flap too. No need of adjuvant materials like autologous blood viscoelastic material or PFCl, and can be potentially useful for refractive cases where it can be peeled beyond arcades and plugged into the macular hole. Relatively simple to perform. Thank you.